CEL, Communications and Entertainment Limited.
Guess who's back in town?
I've got sunshine on a cloud.
This is Sammy.
My wife. It's funny, Anna. The more Rosie hears about you, the more she's knocked out by you.
And this is Rosie.
Sammy, freedom plus commitment. Those were our words. They were to be the two pillars of our life and love together.
From the writer and director of My Beautiful Laundrette, Sammy and Rosie get laid.
Talking about my girl.
Anna, cut it out. This is my father.
Oh, pleased to meet you, sir. Welcome to England. I hope you enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
Oh, I'll give you a ring.
Let's get the hell out of here.
When you're in the government over there, people, opposition people sometimes, were murdered and tortured, weren't they?
It is necessary at times. Everyone will admit that.
And Rosie suggested the other night that we have a little party for your dad. Yes. Just a few friends. We can't let a bit of torture get in the way of a party. But who will we invite?
We just have to round up the usual social deviants, communists, lesbians, blacks, with a sprinkling of the mentally subnormals.
Day after day, those kids burn down their own streets. It's hard on tourists like me. How's married life? Good? Bad?
Married life? It's a scream. How can things become so strange between a common couple?
While London burns, Sammy and Rosie get laid.
In a city where the cops have become the crooks.
Mutual trust. That's what makes the whole thing work.
There's a captain that is out to clean up the ranks.
Every screw-up. Got a little attitude problem here? Every misfit? Haircut. Every malingerer in this precinct. If any of them are thieves, you better by God find out.
Yes, sir. Ma'am.
She's taking her tough act to the street to tackle crime and corruption.
That's harassment. No, that's only the beginning.
But when her crusade gets too close to the cause,
You'll be relieved of your duties as police officers.
a cop gets cut down.
It happens when a cop forgets that all that's keeping him alive is his fellow cops.
Hello?
Watch your back. Captains get killed, too.
I am not prepared to hear that you have been killed by a fellow officer.
Suzanne Plachette, Danny Aiello, George Sanford Brown, and Frank Converse. Command in Hell.
You are about to witness a parent's worst nightmare.
But they've got Karen, damn it. And I'm not going to sit around in some lousy hotel room and wait while other people decide what happens to my daughter.
She's my daughter, too.
I said, say goodbye.
Sandra, darling, I love you. Jason, Simon, I love you both. Don't forget me. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. No!
How brave are you with your girlfriend's life? You're about to see a desperate parent refuse to become a hostage of terror.
How brave are you now?
They want to get the hostages, they're gonna get them. We're gonna go downstairs, bring them up here, put them against the wall, stick the camera in their faces, and we're gonna execute them.
Dick Hardy.
Karen Hobart.
John Campbell.
Jessica King.
Do you want me to stop?
You are about to watch a father's revenge. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful young heiress.
Want to come to a party?
Yes, take me.
Once upon a time, that is, until she joined the club. A very special club.
We'll play the game tonight. And I'll let you have the little princess. She'll watch the game. Every card that's dealt. Every move that's made. She'll even see the victor with his winnings. All without knowing what the heck's going on.
A club that plays only one game.
I want to play.
The little girl wants to play. Well, isn't that nice? Isn't that splendid?
A game where the winner takes all, even their own life.
I don't want to play anymore.
You already have.
She joined the Suicide Club.
Good to be home.
This is her home, Dylan. You've forgotten how it feels.
All the kids with any get up and go have got up and went, just like you did. The old ones are just hanging on like Foxfire on rotten wood.
You can't make it alone. And Pa's dead. Now, damn it, how do I get through to you on that?
You there, Hector?
What's troubling you? You gonna leave me?
You let Pa rest. Come live with us.
I belong here.
I got a nice surprise for you. We want to buy your land.
But is leaving here what she wants? Or you won't? Don't you never hear him?
It's Pa, ain't it?
Place or family? That's the choice.
Sure, I remember.
John Denver. Hume Cronin.
I remember it clear.
And Jessica Tandy in the award-winning Foxfire.
It's hard to hold a nasty spirit down. Those irrepressible poltergeists are back for their third shot, and director Gary Sherman hopes you'll find them scarier than ever.
The Poltergeist movies are not really based on gore and blood and violence as much as just fear of the unknown and the whole concept of afterlife and death. It's a little more mystical. One of the things about the Poltergeist films is no one's been killed in a Poltergeist film. Until now.
And the poltergeists are no longer confined to a single family dwelling either. This time, they get to create havoc in one of the tallest skyscrapers in the world, a composite of several of Chicago's most spectacular high-rises.
By upping the ante and putting it in a 21st century monolith kind of steel and glass structure in this city environment, really urbanize it, we've really created a kind of a super technological haunted house, a 21st century haunted house, and you've placed everybody in jeopardy by doing this, everybody in the building.
Coupled with Poltergeist III's new environment is a new approach to special effects.
We're not doing our special effects in post-production. We're doing all of our special effects live on the stage through the use of mirrors and beam splitters and two-way mirrors and mirrors of different densities, glass of different densities, glass of different reflective qualities.
This groundbreaking special effects approach is a departure from Poltergeist II, which relied heavily on blue screen shots and optical composites to create its own otherworldly atmosphere.
The actors in this picture are not interacting with blue screen. They are actually seeing what the audience sees.
For Tom Skerritt and Nancy Allen, Carol Ann's uncle and aunt in Poltergeist III, the lack of optical process shots meant a new level of physical challenge and involvement. In one scene, they rode a window washing rig over the edge of one of the tallest buildings in the world.
It's numbing to go out in that thing, sticking out there like a pepperoni over, Chicago.
And then when the camera started rolling, I looked over the edge of that thing. It scared me to death. So I used it.
Working on Poltergeist III is definitely the biggest challenge I've ever had in my career. I've been 19 years doing this.
Special effects foreman Cal Accord had the task of actualizing the movie's complex and innovative illusions. In a Chicago workshop, a wall away from the sound stages, Accord and his crew had to create everything from animal carcasses that would come alive in a meat locker to breathing doors. One of his biggest challenges was a half-inch deep puddle with a particularly troublesome bottom.
Carol Ann is in a garage. She's trying to escape the poltergeist. And she backs into a puddle. And these hands come out of the puddle and are grabbing onto her. And the other kids come over to save her. And they get yanked into the puddle also. And then they all disappear inside the puddle.
And cut! First of all, the garage isn't a garage, it's a set. And the puddle isn't a puddle. It's a hole in the floor that opens into a water tank.
I got a 10-foot diameter tank built with the 3x3 windows in it. And there's a pneumatic cylinder down there with a little platform on it. So she could stand on it and drop down out of shot on cue.
Those grotesque hands were latex creations that found their way onto two divers who were responsible for their demonic antics. Director Sherman communicated with the divers via an underwater radio hookup.
And let go. Well, fog oil is a term that's used for the stuff we put in there. A lot of people, they call it voodoo juice, fog juice.
The fog oil gave a particularly eerie quality to the intense lights that shined up through the puddle. The rest was timing, and take after take after take. Poltergeist III, we're back, becoming a chilling reality for the summer of 1988.
They're between dimensions, behind reflections, behind mirrors stealing images. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann.
You are about to discover the truth.
You got it all going for you, kid. The world's your oyster.
Teenage daughters are not always what they seem to be.
We're up against 13-year-olds with machine guns.
An average family enters a world of drugs and violence in search of the answers.
Can't you forget?
Starring William Shatner and Susan Blakely.
You looking for something,
special.
One kid in America kills himself every 90 minutes.
I was on the street. I asked people for change.
She became another broken angel.
CEL, Communications and Entertainment Limited.